Welcome in, welcome in. Today, we're going to take a look at this $8 electric heated desoldering pump that I got from AliExpress. I first saw this on Savior's Twitch stream. He was using it to desolder a frog TKL that he just picked up. It looked like it was working better than a SSO2 pump, and he gave me an Amazon link. I think it was like $20 US. I checked on AliExpress, and the same thing is available for $8. So, question is, will this work better than the standard SSO2s that we always use? This one, the hand pump. We'll find out. This is the standard desoldering pump. Now it's a pain in the ass because this tube always gets chewed up and melted after you use it for a while. So we'll check it out and see. This one's a tiny bit clogged, no longer works as good. So let's see if this $8, which actually costs less than one of these, actually works as good as I saw it on stream. And will it work better or not? And if it does, then it's super copium for not having the $200 Hako, the FR301 Desoldering Gun, the Berber gun that everyone uses. So let's find out. This is what I got. I'm going to unbox it real fast here. Comes in this blister packaging, easy to remove. So it looks like we've got the tip and a replacement tip, and I guess this is for maintenance, for declogging the front while it's heated in theory. Let's see how it works. So this is the gun. Looks simple enough. Now he mentioned on stream that there's no temperature control at all. It's all in Chinese. But it looks like push it down. Oh, I guess this is for maintenance. Pull it out if you want to empty it out the canister. But I'm hoping you can just push it out as you solder and see what happens. All right, so here's the gun. Apparently there's no temperature control at all. It just gets hot, and hotter once you plug it in. I guess presumably this part heats up. And you'll see the tip here. That'll heat up. This looks just like the end of the gun. And you put it on the PCB, it'll melt the solder, and then you theoretically, that's the suction to pull up the solder. Basically exactly the same as the SSO2, except you don't have to deal with one iron in one hand and getting the perfect timing. So this would be just like heat it up, fire. So let me get it ready here and see how it works. So I've got this Leviathan build. We're going to try desoldering with this gun. This heated desoldering pump. This has got MX Browns on it, plateless right now, with DCS. So I'm going to plug it in, let it get hot, get my fan ready, set up for desoldering. In theory, as long as it can melt the solder, provide a good seal, and then suck as designed, it'll already be easier than dealing with a pump and iron. So then we're going to see if it desolders clean and if it's able to do a whole board at once without maintenance, or if it jams, or see what happens. I'm also looking to desolder, once I get the browns off here, I'll desolder a Type 60 build that's currently running Sunset Gleams. And I'm going to transfer the MX Browns to that, assuming this even works. I'm hoping this pump will work as advertised for $8. So let's see. So let me just get my fan out, get it set up here. Just using this heat pad so it doesn't destroy my desk pad with the solder splatter. We're going to have to take all the caps off this as well. We're going to need the solder exhaust fan. Suck all the solder fumes. Now there's no stand or anything included. So I will use I'm hoping to be able to just use the one I use for my soldering iron, except this one will be the desoldering iron. So in theory this should work. You would just hold it here like so, in theory. Just like your soldering iron, except desolder. Yep, so then theoretically we would heat this up. Once it's hot, put it on the solder joint. So you've got these little solder hills or little pretty volcanoes. And then this would just go over it, heat it up, melt it, and then you pull it. We'll see how it works. Maybe I'll be able to actually just hold it and show you. Who knows? We'll find out. So I'm going to plug it in, let it heat up, and then we'll get going. Okay, so we're set up here. Now I've turned this on, and I don't know if you can the camera will patch it up, but you see how it's smoking here? Probably not very safe for an $8 device. It's already, you know, kind of smoking. Hopefully it's just burning off whatever residual chemicals are here. I'm not going to touch it, but hopefully once we get going, it'll stop smoking with any luck. Theoretically, this is hot enough to melt some solder, I think. Kind of dangerous. So let's see. I'm going to see if I can zoom up so you guys can see the first pull. Okay, so this is as close as I can get with my camera. As close as I can get with my camera. So let's just try one, shall we? I'll try the space bar. So theoretically, we would just put this on and then pull on it. Let me see, all right? Okay, it has melted, and I've pulled it. Now, theoretically, I guess the solder's in here somewhere. We'll try the other one. Okay, so this is a little alarming. I've got smoke coming out of here. It could just be residual chemicals from inside the gun. Now, it's cool till the touch where my hand is. I'm grabbing it here and I don't feel any heat. So that is a little concerning. Who knows what we're breathing? Make sure you've got your solder fan. Okay, so you'll see out of the two, the first one didn't suck all that cleanly. The second one looks very clean. This looks completely desoldered. This one I'm going to give it one more pump. Okay, so the second one seems to have done the job. In theory, let's see how it pulled. Now, I do smell some toxicity. You probably shouldn't be breathing, but this fan, I do have a solder fan here that's collecting as much as I can. And this is not enough to pull out. This is still soldered. Now, typically, if this happened with the pump, you would have to reflow it, give it a little more solder. So we'll try that. I'm going to add some solder. Oh, I don't have my other soldering gun in here to do that. Oh well. Now, because it was the first one, I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt. Maybe it wasn't hot enough. I'm going to try the next few here. Okay, so we're going to put it on. Make sure it melts. Pull it. That one looked good. Eject. I'll zoom out a bit here so you can see what's happening here. So there is smoke coming out of here where I ejected it, going straight through into my exhaust. Okay. Second one. Melt. Pop. Push. And you'll see the smoke here. Okay, this is promising. I think the first one just wasn't hot enough. This is the one I just did right here. And you'll see it's a pretty clean desolder. You see the pin right in the middle of it? Yeah, it just comes clean. So that was a successful desolder pull. Very clean. Let's check the switch. You can see a little bit here. But overall, pretty good. Residual solder is pretty good. Let me see if I can do 3 or 4 in a row here. This is working so good, I'm just going to keep going. I can already tell this is quite a bit better than using an iron and the SSO2. Question is, how long before we need to maintain it? It's working so good that we will see how long it actually takes to desolder at 60% once we get going like I have here. And how many of these we'll have to go back and do. As far as I can tell, these are very clean. This is working really well. That one, I didn't get a good seal on it. I may have to reflow that one switch. I still don't feel any heat in my hand yet on the handle, which is good. Oh, I missed that one. That's not a good one. So the effectiveness is going down now after I've done 2 rows. Presumably, maybe there's some stuck in here. I'll give it a few clicks. I may have to use that maintenance pin thing that they gave us. That one came out super clean. All in all, so far so good. This is significantly faster than using the SSSO2. So far, very good results. That one missed. Good. This is quite impressive. I'm quite happy with this device considering it's $8. Excellent copium for not having an FR301 Desolder gun at home. I am noticing that these last two switches aren't coming as clean as some of the first ones. They may need a refill. Nope. The second pull fixed it. Alright, last row. This shit is bomb. Not gonna lie. This is pretty damn good. Considering what we paid for this, $8. It is doing an excellent job of desoldering. I mean, anybody could desolder. Yeah, this is working so good that if it even did 2 or 3 boards and then just stopped working, I already got my money's worth. Like, this is almost worth buying a few of them and just throwing them away as they die, if they ever die. Like, this is really good. There's a few here that will need a reflow. It could just be I didn't put a lot of solder in it when I soldered this board. The majority of these are pulling quite well. My hand is a little shaky. Last one. Clear this out. Put it on. All right, let's see how we did. Visually, everything looks quite clean. Pretty good. Let's see how many of these switches actually come out. So far, so good. Actually, you can just use your hands. Nope, some of them are stuck. Let's see. The ones that are stuck, you would just use your hands. Reheat it. I think if these were HMX and not cherry, they'd be even looser because they got thinner pins. But I guess it all depends on how much solder is still stuck on the pin. Okay, so pretty good. Here's the results. These ones have still got residual solder. Could just be the littlest bit of solder holding it in, touching. So like something like this, you can see like the pin is still touching the side, but not bad. We got over two-thirds of the board was pulled on the first try. So these ones, let me see if I could just pull them out like I normally would with a slight heat from the hit this. Because this one, like, one pin is loose. Oh, never mind, that one's loose. That one came out. This one could use another hit. See if I could just hit it again without reflowing. The answer is yes. Okay, these two. I hit them again. Yep, so it looks like you hit it again, they will come out. Still not bad. Still way better than soldering iron. And the SSO2. Good. Alright, we got a stubborn one here. Let me see if I can just heat it up and pull with my hand. This is how I would normally desolder if I had my iron hooked up. I would just touch the pin and then pull on it. Once the pin's heated, yep, there it goes. So that also works for the stubborn ones. Alright, this whole bottom row was the first ones I did. Actually, I didn't even do this bottom row. I forgot to do this whole bottom row here. These ones have never been pulled. I forgot that I started from the second row from the bottom when I started this video. Alright, just a few stubborn ones left. The space bar still sticking on. It is now out. Four more switches over here. I'm just using the heat from the tip here to blow the solder and pull the switch manually. And then I'm going to go over the hole and just clear the hole even though the switch is not there. Two left, last two. That one just fell out as soon as I touched it. Last one. Also just fell out. Alright, we're done. Not bad. Looks like maybe 15 minutes to do the whole board. Here's the results of it. Pretty clean. I mean, you can see the flux, but that doesn't matter. Check out a handful of these switches. Pins look good. This is a pretty clean desolder. You could almost use these in a hot swap board after. I mean, it's typically not recommended, but this might have been one of the ones I did by hand afterwards. All in all, very successful desolder. Let me just turn this off or unplug it. It'll heat forever. While it's heated, I'm going to clear it out a little bit. Maybe use that pin they just gave us while it's hot. So this is the pin that they gave us for maintenance. Presumably this is to clear the tip. So while it's hot, I'm assuming you just go like this, give it a keep the front clear. Now you will see some solder here, not much, but a little bit going onto this pin. Presumably that's all the maintenance you need. All right, let me unplug it. A little warm to the touch, but I do feel some residual solder, a little bit, but not enough to concern me. All right, I've turned this off. Turn the fan off. Okay. Honestly, excellent. Excellent. I'm very happy with the way this thing works. Like I said, if it even does 2 or 3 PCBs or more for $8, this is excellent cope for not having the Berber gun, which costs $200. So I'm just going to keep buying these little guys. It's honestly way, way better than the old-fashioned way with the pump. Yeah, way faster, way more effective. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. It's much cleaner than pump alone as far as my PCB is concerned. Just ignore the flux on here, but you'll see the majority of these desolders are great. The switches come out clean. You can probably use them in a hot swap if you're, desperate. You don't have any other non-desoldered switches. I typically always solder. So, all in all, $8. This is a steal. It's so cheap you can buy a few of them if it dies and just toss it. But honestly, this worked excellent. It comes in cheaper than the SSO2. You could buy two of these for one of these. You could buy 2 of these for one of these. This poor guy, I've desoldered at least 800 switches to 1,000 manually. And you got to deal with this little tube at the end. You got to cut pieces and keep them fresh, and they get mangled. I wish I had discovered this sooner. Thank you, Savior, again, for showing us on your stream. And it's really good. I highly recommend it for anyone that can't splurge on the actual gun. It's a great time saver versus the SSO2, and you don't have to worry about the rubber tips. So I hope you found this helpful. I'll try to get a link below. Y'all can just desolder your own shit faster now. Thank you.